Okie dokie. George, I'll let you start us off again, mate, if you'd like, and then we'll go to the floor afterwards.
We've got George.
Perfect. Hey Arthur, good to see you, mate.
Hey, George.
That must have all the emotions during that one, I'd imagine.
Yeah, from a character point of view, positive. Both times, we're behind in the game and we come back, so that's really pleasing. And still areas that I thought if we can do a little bit better, we should come away with a bit more than what the game's been as an outcome point of view.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Is it disappointing that two of the goals, one was kind of getting no one kind of picking him up or him making a late dart, and then you've also got the second goal was a ball not cleared properly. Is that what's kind of frustrating you the most? Because getting those back-to-back wins together,
Yeah, it's a game of details, and in that area the details weren't covered, and you get punished for them because they've got the quality to punish you as well. I mean, that's really one of the best squads in the league, So in the end, when they get their chances, they finish them. But in fairness, we had enough chances ourselves, and we need to be more clinical because the game could be finished already if we take our chances.
Thank you, mate. I'll pass on.
Thank you.
On that point, there's a little bit reminiscent to some of the previous games the last couple of weeks. I mean, there's going to be a day when you score 5 or 6, but how do you try and... Is it just repetition? I think you keep saying to try and get that consistency.
Yeah, there's a lot of positives from it, Jimmy. Physically, I felt that's probably the best game. It's the first game since we restarted where I didn't make changes based on being concerned physically where players were at. I made changes to affect the game, so that's really pleasing. Had some great passages where our football, when it was flowing, was really hard to stop, and then some inconsistency as well. So overall, like I said, it's you can take it both ways. I'm sure both teams thought they should get something out of the game, but in reflection, I think we should come away with more than a point.
Is Becker's penalty, I mean, you obviously knew he had contributed to Ukraine in his back pocket, mate. Is that something that you approached you about, or how'd that come about? And obviously,
no, it was
important being from that part of the world.
Yeah, no, I wasn't aware of that. I don't probably get into those discussions, and obviously, he's from a country that right now, there's a lot of things happening in the world, but I prefer to stay out of that, and I know it means a lot to Becker, so I can respect that as well.
Must be happy for Ellie. Would have been happy you had that second one not been flagged, but he's persevered a lot, and this is his first full probably crack at it for a while.
Yeah, I got a lot of belief in Ali, have had from the start, and felt that he could impact the game when he came on, and also Daniel going out on the right as well. So credit to him, when the opportunity came, he took it, and he's been working really hard to get back to that point where he can impact the team in that area as well.
How long before you think you'll see the best out of him, mate? Like, as I said, I think he's either had to come in halfway through a season when he hasn't had a pre-season, or he hasn't, he's been expected to come in and make an impact straight away, or he's had 3 months of pre-season, he's now had a decent crack at it.
Yeah, look, I think the main thing for Ali is, he's always working hard. He's an important player for us, like everyone else is. So, it's just about taking your opportunities when they come your way, and there's no guarantee when they're going to come, but you've got to be ready. And so today, I think the last 2 or 3 games he's sat on the side. He hasn't actually even come on, but I know he's focused, and I know if he comes on, he can make an impact like that for us.
Yeah, and I imagine the further the season goes, you expect that the silkiness and the aspects he was known for will return.
Well, look, that's still there anyway. I mean, Ali's, in terms of his feet, one of the most gifted, I've worked with over a long period of time, and it's just making sure his body can handle the rigours of professional football, but he looks after himself. Like I said, mentally, he keeps himself in the right place to just be ready, and it's, like I said, it's about opportunities and being ready when they come.
And so we saw probably the best of Semi Silvera in that first half. I know he could have had 2 or 3 goals, but is that what you want from him?
Yeah, absolutely. I know what Sammy's level is, and for him it's about consistency and working hard and getting outcomes as well. So he got himself into some really good positions, and possibly could have either set up one and scored one as well. So he's got to keep working hard, because he's got the talent, and you've got to have the consistency to match it to always be at your best level.
Now you've got obviously 6 days, I think, this week or 6 days.
Yeah.
To prepare. Is that where those potentially you can work on those little decision making and that final ball? And again, there were times when they maybe passed match a shot or vice versa, and the final killer ball just wasn't quite in the peach spot.
if we reflect on, not just this game, I mean, the main thing that we've been trying to do is get into those areas more consistently. So we're starting to do that again, which is important for us, the way we like to play. And then, of course, there needs to be outcomes as well. So sometimes you can overthink it as well, and maybe it's being overthought as well at the same time. So I think they just need to trust each other and play more instinctual because we've got certain situations that we get ourselves into consistently, and like I said, you just need to really make sure there's outcomes from those.
Coming up against Western United next week, who are top of the table, I guess what do you look at? What do you look at keeping or changing when you're coming up against a top team like that?
Well, at the moment, it was so important to get to this period without significant injuries. I mean, that's really been the challenge. So I think it's 7 games now in less than a month, and apart from some niggles, we really haven't lost players that we're going to lose them for too long. So I think that's credit to the players, credit to the staff, the program that we run. And we know that'll be a tough game next week, but right now what's important is that we recover, we review our game, and we keep focusing on us. And I keep saying it all along. As long as we focus on improving our performances, the results will come, and as long as we're in that mix come the right time of the year, I think we can still do something pretty special here.
But still on that, Tezza said exactly the same thing. He said the team that's got the fittest players, of their better performers, has more depth, will be the teams at this point that succeed. I mean, is that's obviously something you programmed, knowing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's certain decisions that we could have made, and that possibly could affect the result or not. I'm not sure, but we've taken the approach that if we can get to this period, we played obviously on Wednesday night as well. We've played again on Saturday night. Now it's our first real little break to just get ourselves, back to a level that we can focus purely on performances and the way we want to play rather than just getting people through games. And that's what we've been doing, obviously, because the circumstance, and in fairness, Ante had a similar situation, so he's gone through that as well with MacArthur. And you see, it's not as easy to get the consistency in such an inconsistent schedule. And that's as fair as I can be, because it's like I said, it's a circumstance never confronted before, where you miss 6 weeks of a league season while other teams are playing, and then you're meant to be at the same level. So I think that we can be, satisfied to a certain degree, but we've got to be hungrier than that, And like I said, I think today, we can leave a little bit disappointed with what the outcome of the game is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.